Hey y'all, it's Cherie, and today I'm going to make a video on how I have traveled to at least 12 cities in different countries with just one backpack. And I'm gonna tell you how. No check bags, and yes, I still looked cute. In my opinion, you're gonna have to talk to the people I met for another true comment or opinion. For me, it's really about that freedom to be able to hop off a bus, to be able to not really look like a tourist, to blend in, and to make, I guess, friends on a whim. And, it's not just like friends, but it is about kind of that user experience. The user being me, and the user being, in a sense, the stakeholders or the people that I'm encountering. What's essential is important, what adds friction is interesting, and what adds joy is what I basically focus on my trips. So today, I'm going to talk to you about the 5 outfits that I always have. They're staple for me and they've done me good. It's not just for, one trip, but for many trips. It's something I decided around pre-COVID, around 2019, 2018, 2019, when I decided to completely use one backpack to travel, and that was to Vietnam. And I tweak what I bring based on, that country, that city, that climate, the fashion in that area. And you don't always know what to wear, but at least for me, there are some staple items. So I grabbed some stuff that I typically have with me. And the number one item that I wear a ton of are a shirt and pair of pants, right? So typically I am a crop top girl. So typically just a regular white plain crop top. It is good, doubles up as a cute night out. If you want to look cute during the day, some people work out in it. I don't really. So I would suggest either having a cute crop top. I don't work out a ton when I go abroad, but if I know I am going to work out abroad, as I did in Kenya, I made sure to bring some workout attire. But also, once again, remember where you're going. So like in America, when you work out, you can tend to wear sports bra and really tight clothes. In Kenya, I chose not to do that because it is just a different environment. And I would say if you are going to wear clothes on the skimpier side or with less, to be aware if you are, for example, by yourself and female. Instead of a white crop top, I might opt for a white sports bra that can double up as a crop top. It's totally okay to wear a crop top a sports bra instead of a crop top. With women attire, I just think you can go back and forth, which is really nice. And of course, you could wear it as a bra as well. And then I like to pair it with running bottoms. Typically, I like the shorts version just because it is lighter, which means less material. Depending on the season that I'm traveling, if I'm traveling in winter, then I will probably opt for a longer legging. However, I do say that to also mention, I typically like to travel to warmer places, and that might be a strategic thing for packing lighter as well. I have traveled when it is cold, but that's a different kind of packing. Similar, but I would have different staples. I would say I wouldn't wear a crop top in the winter unless it was a mild winter in the country that I was going to. Okay, so we have a few things so far, and I forgot to mention to pair with my cute crop top. I always usually have a pair of short shorts. These aren't short shorts, these are more conservative in my opinion. They're not ripped. I like to sport the ripped jeans look. This is very baggy but versatile. You feel comfortable when you wear it. You don't feel like anyone's looking up your butt, and it's just a nice classic color, a nice classic look. You can wear it anytime, you can get it dirty, and it's easy to wash, which is important when you're reusing clothes. Okay, there is that. And then of course there are days you don't need to look so cute, or you're just like traveling with others and you need some pajamas, so you want to get a t-shirt. And the t-shirt I think is also important depending on what country you're going to. If you're going to a country that is not into branding very much, I wouldn't recommend wearing brandy things. If it's trendy and you're a trendy kind of person, definitely wear it, but people will know you're American. There's nothing wrong with people knowing you're American, but Americans are known to be walking billboards. Just know what you're bringing, and by bringing I mean know how people are perceiving you, if that's the way you want to be perceived, and bring that energy. If your goal is like mine, which is to typically blend in and connect with locals, I try not to bring in too much branding if my goal is to meet anybody or other Americans, because I really want to connect with other Americans abroad. Then I would end up probably encouraging Americans to talk to me, because they're going to be used to what I'm used to wearing and vice versa, and then we can bond. We both speak English, we both really enjoy probably more similar things possibly, and so I would recommend branding for that. I, as some of you know, went to Georgia Tech. If I am looking for an American friend, or Georgia Tech's not entirely huge, but it is huge enough. So if I'm feeling I'm in a city that might know some American brands, but like not too brandy, I would bring like a Georgia Tech t-shirt. So it's not like, oh my god, hi, I have so much money, but it's like, I went to Georgia Tech. And no one would really know this mascot, because mascots are really big in America, but not necessarily other countries. And so it would encourage those that went to Georgia Tech to probably talk to me. And so if I'm feeling sad and someone went to Georgia Tech, or know someone that went to Georgia Tech, they will probably approach me. There's a higher chance anyways. Of course, if you went to Harvard, Yale, Columbia, maybe no one would approach you because it's kind of a trendy school brand sweater. And that's okay too. And then I wouldn't recommend what I just told you to connect to people, but they might assume you are American based on probably your skin color. Like, that just is gonna be. All right, so t-shirt for comfort, to connect to others, and it's a really good like pajama or workout outfit if you or just bringing a crop top and not a sports bra, for example. Not everyone runs in sports bras. I don't always. And if it's wintertime or you're in a conservative place, definitely run in a t-shirt. Or that's what I recommend anyways. And so those are the staple things. Oh, if you want to have non-branded shirts, I recommend going to places like Gap. It's kind of like a baggy shirt, but you can just kind of drape it over, and it's really nice depending on body type. For example, I love wearing blacks and whites. As you can see, they're very versatile because these are staple colors. If you have a black shirt, I recommend jean pants, jean shorts, black pants that are jeansy, so that it's easy to clean and wash, which is imperative when you're only carrying a few items. So right now, I've just shown you a few things. We have this or that as a t-shirt, that's 1. We have jean shorts, that's 2. We have your crop top or sports bra, that's 3. And then this can be bonus if you're like using shorts to run in. 3.5, 4. And then I always recommend one nice item. And so I'm going to show this. Typically I bring a dress. There's different hacks. You can bring a dress, or this is a romper, depending on where you're going. If you're going somewhere windy, you probably want something more romper-ish. If you're going somewhere less windy, sundress, whatever you want, but something that's like a little bit nice. It could be nicer than this. And there is that. And then of course, I don't know if this is necessary to say, but you always want to have underwear. So I typically keep all of my underwear in this little pouch that I got back in the day. I try to stick in at least 5. As a woman, you're a little bit luckier because underwear comes in all shapes and sizes. You have your kind of like your tighty whities, and then you have your thinner underwear. And if you know, you know, but they're very thin, and so they're kind of like 1/4 the size of a regular underwear, which is very helpful when you're traveling light. Okay, so we have those, assuming we're not counting underwear as one of the 5 essentials. If we are, totally fine. Basically, I tend to, and also always like 2 pairs of socks. So those are basically my essentials for traveling light. And you're probably wondering how I pack my bag. I typically pack my bag, and I've been doing it for a while. Some people use the vacuum seal. I don't like the vacuum seal because I don't always have access to a vacuum. But what I do like are these bags, and for me, the smaller the better. There's a bigger one. I prefer the smaller one. It is about the size 2 of my heads. So 2 of my heads, right? Yeah, okay. And so, see if I can put all the things I showed you in my bag. So we have my dress, and put in the back. And then I have my pants. Also, it's imperative the way you put it in your bag because you want to make it as compact as possible. If you need some folding lessons, let me know. Put in my crop top. I'll put in the legging. Put in the t-shirt I would more likely wear. I'm gonna put in my underwear and socks. And then I'm going to sandwich it up and zip it up. I like to have less over more. This seems like a little bit already, but what you're gonna find you're going to want to do is you're going to want to purchase clothes when you're abroad. And so you're gonna want space to buy those clothes. Are you gonna want to wear your own clothes? Probably. But the fact of the matter is you're in another country and you're gonna want to wear their clothes. If you don't, that is rough. Don't pack light. But if you do want to wear their clothes, I would say pack light. It means you can add some extra. A lot of times I like to bring my clothes, usually not my favorite. Well, I take it back. I do like bringing a lot of my like classic favorites because I will wear them. You'll have at least one outfit that makes you feel comfortable if you're not comfortable in the other country. But depending on where you go, I think it's sometimes best to wear or bring clothes that you don't necessarily mind getting dirty or bad so that you can discard it if you need to, and you can replace it with something cool if you find something cool. Give yourself that option. to find something cool. Okay, well, that's what I typically put in my bag. And this is the bag that I bring. I tried to find the smallest bag that I could that can also mainly take care of my laptop. And I put it in here. And it goes inside and kind of like sits into half my bag, allowing me even more space for other things that I might need, such as typically I put my toiletries on top because toiletries can be a lot. I don't typically bring a ton of toiletries. I will buy it abroad because I will be abroad for anywhere from 2 weeks to 9 weeks, and so it makes more sense to have a bottle when I'm abroad. Obviously you can't bring that much liquid, so maybe have like a really tiny bit if you really need to or want to, if you're showering in lounges or you're going to be stuck somewhere for the first or second day by accident. It's good to have. Sometimes I add a snack like an apple or an orange on top as well. And then there's a lot of other little gadgets I like to bring and hover around my backpack. If you want to know about that, I'm sure I will talk about it in a future video. But that's basically what I bring in my backpack, 5 staple items, and then a bonus for y'all who have stayed towards the end. When I travel, I do wear certain things in the airplane, but the one thing that I always bring, especially for colder people, people that tend to get cold, if it's a domestic flight or you're going to travel domestically even abroad, is to bring a really cool scarf. I have this scarf. It is so scarfy and it's like quite thin but thick at the same time. It is from Tibet and made out of wool, and it's so nice and warm. And no matter what kind of plane you're on, you could just, throw it on yourself so that it's not an extra item, but you still get that warmth because it does get cold on an airplane. I don't care how strong you are, unless you're the Hulk, who I guess I'm assuming is very, very hot. He probably is. It is really cool to add a scarf. If you want to know like what other things I'm wearing, they're very strategic when I'm on a plane. And to like kind of wear your bulkiest clothes, especially if you're packing for 5 staple items. And that is basically it for this particular talk. If you're so inclined, I'd want to ask you, like, what is one thing you can't travel with? Drop it in the comments, or I guess if you disagree with any of my items, or if you want to see a different kind of like how I travel, like different season, let me know. Hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, have a great day. Either way, that's exactly what I have in my bag. So, peace out.